Hey everyone, so I'm going to go over an example of a previous client's Dutch hormone test to show you how it helped her and how it's possible that the Dutch test can help you as well. Now, she was having a lot of symptoms, been going to her doctor, and was always told, look, your lab ranges are normal, so there's no reason for these symptoms. But actually, we found out that there were a lot of reasons for these symptoms after we ran the Dutch hormone test. 33-year-old client, she was having a lot of hair loss on her scalp, hair growth on her face and her chest, chronic fatigue, especially in the afternoon, and lots of joint pain. She was having extreme anxiety and migraines 6 to 10 days out of the month that were debilitating. And we were able to help her get rid of all of those. So let's dive into it really quickly. You can see here sex hormones, overall sex hormone levels. This is what your blood test would show at your doctor's office, but it's only one tiny piece of the puzzle. So yeah, estradiol in range, progesterone in range, testosterone in range. I can see why the doctor said, hey, there's nothing wrong here, but actually there was. So let's go down here first, start with stress hormones, cortisol and DHEA. Now, these are super important. We need cortisol to get going, to have motivation, to have energy. It's anti-inflammatory. And you can see that hers was so low. I mean, she was barely making any cortisol, hence the joint pain she was having, the lack of energy. So that is why right here. Now let's go to her 24-hour free cortisol. It was in range. So why is that if we had such low metabolized cortisol? I see this a lot with clients who have hypothyroid or Hashimoto's. So after looking at this test, we ran a full thyroid panel on her, and guess what? She did have hypothyroid, and we were able to fix that. And, her doctor for years has said everything was right with her thyroid, but they were only testing TSH, which is not enough. And we gave her a full thyroid panel. We do adequate testing over here at the Period Guru. All right. So over here, this daily free cortisol pattern is how is her cortisol being utilized throughout the day. So you can see waking, it was in range. Okay. Mid-morning in range. She wasn't reporting any energy issues around that time. Afternoon, it just plummeted. So this is why she was having such chronic fatigue. She was reporting that like after 2 p.m., she really just couldn't function anymore. She was so tired. She had no mental capacity. She was really on the struggle bus. And at nighttime, it was in range. Okay, so we were able to support her cortisol, boost her cortisol levels. After 3 months, she was starting to feel a lot better. 6 months, back to her old self again. So let's go to sex hormones down here. We have testosterone. Now, testosterone is robust in range. However, the reason why she was having problems is because how it was metabolizing. This is what a blood test at your doctor's office will not show you. So you see the 5B and 5A. This is how there's two metabolites that it can turn into. And her 5A was quite high. She had a 5A preference over here. If you can see the little fan gauge, it goes to the right. And when it goes down this pathway, it makes her androgens a lot more potent, hence the androgen excess symptoms she was having of hair growth on her face and her chest and hair loss on her head. So we were able to lower those androgens, and her symptoms went away. And she was very happy to report that, have hair growth and get rid of all of that hair growth on her face and her chest. Okay, so progesterone levels, she was indeed ovulating. Great. We see this here because her progesterone's in range. You only make progesterone after you ovulate. So everyone's happy about that. Her estrogen levels are in range right here, but as you can see, let's see how they're metabolizing. So phase one is the metabolites they turn into. Now remember, a blood test does not show us this information. So we have the green pathway, which is a protective pathway, this first arrow pathway, and this goes down to the 2-hydroxy metabolite. And hers is okay, great. She has a large chunk in there. We want most of it to metabolize this way. The red pathway, this 4-hydroxy, this is DNA damaging. And this leads to, if left unchecked, uterine, breast cancer, endometrial cancer down the line. So if you have a history of family, of breast cancer in the family, this is very important for you to keep tabs on. And this is one of the reasons that she was having a lot of estrogen dominant-like symptoms, even though she wasn't estrogen dominant, okay? Because it was metabolizing down to this naughty pathway. So it was giving her migraines and anxiety. And so once we were able to shuffle those into this protective pathway through the work together, her migraines went away and her anxiety pretty much all but disappeared. And coming over here, phase two, this COMT methylation going to the left, look at that. It's very low. This means that she was not able to neutralize the estrogen metabolite she was making. So her liver wasn't able to neutralize that, turn it into that fat-soluble compound, which estrogen is, into water-soluble, so it can go to the colon and leave the body through stool. Was not able to do that. So all the estrogen she was making was just kind of hanging out around here. So we supported her liver. We supported her there to where we put We boosted her phase 2 estrogen detox pathway, so everything was groovy. And that is how we got rid of all of her symptoms. There's also a nutrient profile at the bottom too, you know, B vitamins, melatonin, neurotransmitters, which are also very insightful. So this is how the Dutch test helped this client, and the Dutch test can absolutely help you as well. So I hope you'll take advantage of the Black Friday sale that I'm offering. Remember, this is the only time of the year that I offer to work with me a la carte with this hormone test. Otherwise, the only opportunities are through my root cause program or the period solution group program.